So these are three of the most exquisite perfumes I have ever tried. Amber Balsam, Cafe Mystique, and Musk Couture. These are by Maksim Perfume, and I'm so blessed to have the opportunity to have these in my collection and to be doing a video for you today. If you are a fan of high quality raw materials, natural ingredients, you need to stay tuned. Now, before I begin today's episode and I give you my thoughts on Cafe Mystique, Amber Balsam, Musk Couture, these are exceptional perfumes, super high quality raw materials and naturals being used in here. I mean, if you couldn't just already tell by the discoloration of the test strip here, we are dealing with some really strong stuff. I want to start the video off first by saying that if you're a fan of fragrance related content, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, and give this video a thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm. It would really mean a lot to me. So, of course, we're dealing with three separate fragrances here, and in order to try to convey the information as quickly as possible, I'm just going to jump into the video. These are absolutely gorgeous. Everything from the presentation, it's so classy. The distribution on the atomizer is fantastic. You have the magnetic caps, and look at how dark the liquid in the bottle is. These are 1 ounce bottles, but I'm telling you, a few sprays go a very long way with every single one of these. You know, normally I would say this is the heaviest one, this is the lightest one, so on and so forth, but what I can say, all of these are super strong. In the amount of time that I've spent playing around with each one of them, I can tell you all of them have incredible longevity, incredible projection. As a matter of fact, here I am in my studio and I sprayed them on, not on skin, but on test strips. And I sprayed about 5 or 6 other fragrances, went back upstairs, came back down a few hours later. These three are all that I was able to smell. They are super strong. And of course, with names like Amber Balsam, so on and so forth, it is expected that they're going to be quite strong. So let's go ahead and start with this one off actually. Maksim Perfume, or Parfum, however you decide to call it if you're French or if you speak English. Amber Balsam. Now, of course, I love my amber perfumes. Some amber perfumes can be quite strong or heavy-handed on the vanilla. Some of them can be more benzoin dominant or labdanum dominant, so on and so forth. So let me smell this one and I'll give you my thoughts. So right away, this stuff is strong. It is dense, it is bold, it is rich, it is meditative, and you smell like you're in the middle of a forest. I love this stuff. When we're talking about balsamic ingredients, of course, we think of the gum or the sap that comes from trees, and it has that thick, viscous property about it, and it conveys it so beautifully in this perfume. Now, of course, this is not a sweet fragrance, and like I said, some amber accords can be quite vanilla heavy, thus allowing it to lean in a more sweet direction. That is not the case with Amber Balsam. This one, on the other hand, you have these other medicinal resins in here. You have what I smell to be agarwood. I'm not sure if there is oud in here, but I'm pretty confident there is. I didn't get a chance to look up the note breakdown, nor would I be able to commit 3 separate note breakdowns to memory for the purposes of this video. So I'm kind of just going off of what I smell in the moment. And this one smells very earthy. It has a very rich, earthy green texture about it. And it has some very medicinal resins in here. So I'm smelling benzoin and perhaps even Tolu balsam or Peru balsam. I'm not entirely sure, but it's very warm, elegant, sensual, but this is very much so on the mysterious side of things. So this is a very dark, brooding, mysterious perfume, and I absolutely love it. Cafe Mystique. So when I looked at them initially a few weeks ago, which is when I did look at the note breakdown, not to say that I remember any of it, this is the one that piqued my interest. And also with a name like Cafe Mystique, I love coffee-based perfumes. So I said, this is one I definitely have to check out. And sure enough, you smell the coffee that is in here. It doesn't smell like a sugary latte from Starbucks. So you're not gonna get the whipped cream, you're not gonna get the corn syrup, you're not gonna get the sugar. This one, again, very dressed up, very refined, very elegant. It has this sort of grown-up personality about it, which you don't find in too many coffee-based fragrances. Even if we're talking about something beautiful like Black Opium by Yves Saint Laurent, that's a coffee-based fragrance, but it also has that you know, big dose of vanilla in there that does take it in a bit of a sweeter direction. Not as sweet as something like Ariana Grande Cloud, but anyway, I shouldn't even be mentioning those names in a video where I'm talking about Maksim Perfume. But here we have this beautiful coffee ingredient. There is this underlying warmth about it as well. So I do perceive to be some resins in the dry down and some other warm ingredients that are kind of giving it this beautiful texture, this beautiful, smooth, elegant base. And this one is not as dark in brooding as Amber Balsam, but it's as strong and as mysterious, I would say. So it doesn't have this dark quality that kind of says, you know, leave me alone, I'm in my own space, you know, or it's gonna be a challenge getting to know me better. This one is a bit more inviting, I would say, but this one is still super high quality in terms of the raw materials and the natural ingredients used. And again, this one is warm. There is this sensual quality about it as well. If you're looking at coffee-based fragrances and you don't want something that smells like a sugary latte, you also don't want something that smells like a freshly brewed pot of coffee, but you're looking for something with depth and complexity, please check out Cafe Mystique. And perhaps in the future, I will do a dedicated video on each one of them, or I'll try to prioritize it by season. But one thing I have to be honest with you about is all of these are fantastic for the colder weather, not just because of the compositional nature, but because of how strong they are. All three of them are going to give you, and they're all eau de parfum, by the way. I couldn't even imagine if they were extrait de parfum, but all of them are going to give you 12 plus hours easily. This next one, if you're wearing a white shirt like I am today, do not spray it on clothing. This will absolutely stain your clothes. This is Musk Couture. This is elegant. As a matter of fact, this is actually the sweetest one of them all. So this one might actually have some vanilla or something in here that is giving this sort of a smooth, subtle, sweet base. Oh, the musk in here is so delightful as well. And it's a very clean musk. You know, nothing about these fragrances smells animalic. And that's the impression that I got, especially when we're dealing with, you know, a lot of natural ingredients and we're dealing with high quality raw materials. One would get the impression that, you know, these perfumes are going to be a little bit more on the rough and tumble animalic side of things. And, you know, there could very well be civet and castoreum and other animalic ingredients in here, but if there is, all I'm saying is that they have been blended to perfection, because none of these are rough and tumble, none of these are rough around the edges. They're all super duper unique, and I think this one, adding that sweetness, whatever it is such a nice touch to the musk. So it's a sweet musk, and it gives it this enveloping quality, and it gives it this versatility, this wearability. It allows it to be worn very comfortably on the skin, but it also adds this flirtatiousness and the sensuality to the perfume. I'm not sure if this is marketed for women. I can see a very confident, you know, mature woman wearing this one very, very comfortably, but I think this is also a fantastic fragrance for men as well. You know, if you have an appreciation for slightly sweet fragrances, musky, but it's also quite earthy at the same time. And, you know, Amber Balsam has some spices in there. Cafe Mystique also smells a little bit spicy as well, with a bit more of an agreeable base in terms of mass appeal. Not to suggest that any of these smell commercial at all. They're anything but. These are certainly for the connoisseur, but I love these fragrances. Of course, if you are a fan of other natural perfumes on the market, you have to try these fragrances. These are ones that you must add to your collection. And just the bottles alone are so classy, so elegant. And this 1 ounce bottle is going to go a long way. And I know it will, because even when I wear them now, I do like 2 or 3 sprays and I can smell them quite strong throughout the day. Hey, thank you so much for watching. That was my sort of a triple header, if you will, triple feature on brand new fragrances, or new to me at least, from Maksim Perfume. If you have experience with this brand or any of these fragrances, let me know what you think. Drop your comment down below. And also, if you love smelling your best and if you took anything of value from today's review, hit subscribe, hit the bell, give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm as well. Thanks again so much for watching. I love you all, and we'll see you tomorrow with a new episode.